And we're back.
Hello, hello, hello.
I'm so excited. It's been a minute.
It's been a hot minute.
Sorry, guys. Brandon, do you want to explain to the people why we haven't had time to record?
Well, essentially, it's all my fault. I have taken more vacation this year than I've ever taken in my entire life, none of which I really scheduled myself. Just vacations I was brought upon, and then I ended up having the busiest work month of my entire life.
Yeah, normally Brandon doesn't work like that many hours, like it's not full time, but they signed him on. I'm guessing that you, like, just people-pleasing said, yeah, sure, I can do that.
Well, I think I just wasn't presented with all the facts.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought it was just going to be my job. I just focused in a separate...
In that, like, one...
Yeah.
Store.
But it ended up being a whole different thing than I expected.
Yeah,
and I had no control over my schedule, and it was a nightmare.
Yeah, so we're almost done with that. And I'm trying to be more, like, forceful with our recording. Sam's been telling me that I need to not, like, ask you. I need to tell you when we're doing stuff, and that works better for her. So I'm trying to do that. But
well, see, Sam tells me what we're doing, but then doesn't follow through. That's the
well, sometimes things you know when I'm saying something's going on, it's gonna happen. I'm pretty dedicated to things that I want to get done for the day.
You speak your truth.
Mm-hmm. I'm also like, I don't like change, so when I have a plan for the day, I tend to stick to that plan, and when things don't go that way, then I kind of freak out. Anyways, even though this is a little bit of banter, I have planned banter, okay, as per usual.
Planter.
Oh, my God, I love to look at you. Well, a lot of people already know this, but I got a new cat. It wasn't really planned.
I was going to press the applause button, but I couldn't remember which one it was. So
we're sitting on the
applause.
bed. So you know what we should do is you know what, you should buy a label maker. I think that would be great.
Oh yeah.
I think, and you should get the one that Carly has, where it's like the old timey, like stampy labels, even though it's kind of expensive. Because I like using those on little cups, and that would be great to just have on the soundboard.
That would be, because we don't sit by the computer anymore. We could have that little screen up. Well, I guess I could have my laptop out, but that seems like a lot of work.
It's too much. Anyways, do you want to tell the story about how the cat happened? Because you knew about, we kind of found out about this cat at the same time, but it wasn't going to be mine at first.
Yeah, so my roommate went on a trip, like a girls' weekend at a cabin, and it was a really fancy cabin, like fancy LA looking cabin. It was so cool looking. Anyway, long story short, a cat waltzed into the Airbnb, and they thought it was the Airbnb owners, but it was not. And so
she just came inside.
Yeah,
that's funny, because
they like left. I think they must have been like taking things in, and they left like the sliding glass door open, and it just boop 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 boop.
She just appeared.
And then they contacted the Airbnb owner, and it was not the Airbnb owner's cat. So the Airbnb owner was like, I'll call animal control. And so they're all like, no, don't call animal control.
Yeah, they're like, nope, let's not do that.
So long story short, there were like 5 people who are going to take this cat.
Yeah,
and
they were like, I'll take it.
Kind of kept falling through. And then
Brenda's like, well, I'm not going to leave this cat, so I guess I got to take it home.
Yeah, and
figure out what to do with it.
Then I came home and there was a new cat.
Yeah, and then I happened to be, I don't know what I was doing that day, but I was meeting Sam here to do something, and I walked into your house because I know the code, and all of a sudden there was just a cat sitting on the couch, and I was like freaking out, like, oh my God, what an angel, because it's just this kitten.
Like, she's so cute.
Orange and white kitten, so precious and so loving. I was able to just pick her up, and she was just like, hey, what's up? And just obsessed. But Brenda's already got 2 cats that rule the house.
Obviously, you all know Cece.
Yeah, and they are pretty chill cats, not very active, and having a little kitten running around
did not fit the vibe.
Yeah, they were not a fan of her. I don't know. Brenda was like, I don't know who suggested that I take her first, but maybe I jokingly mentioned it. I don't even know. But then I talked to Izzy, my girlfriend, and we had already been talking about getting a second cat for a while, a kitten in particular, because I know that that's just like a little bit easier to introduce a resident cat to like a younger cat instead of like 2 old cats.
One they can beat up.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, it's so cute, because she's also orange and also is a girl and whatever. And she's a long hair kitty, and I've never had a long hair cat. And they're just so precious, and I love Cease, and I love Sam's cats that are also long hair cats. So as you're like picking cat hair, I'll
it's just everywhere. Get ready. Especially with white. At least Cece doesn't have, well, she's mostly gray, but she has some white. I don't know. Just hair everywhere.
But yeah, and then she, we brought her home then that Friday, and I've had her for about a month now. Can you believe it's already been that long?
Yes, because I dissociated the entire month of July.
Yeah, it's a surprise. It's August.
Do I remember anything that happened in July? No, but.
No, I don't remember anything that happened either. It's okay. It's all a little bit of a blur. The summer's been kind of weird. I haven't done anything summery.
This has been a weird summer for me. Very not what I usually do.
But let's talk about what we're talking about today. We did something kind of crazy, something that we've talked about doing before, and I think something you've already done, but I hadn't done before.
Beneficial bugs.
We got the good babes. We got the beneficial bugs. For the people who are not like huge into houseplants or are a little newer to houseplants that listen to us, a lot of people will get like good bugs or like predatory bugs to fight off any pest infestations on our houseplants. It's really nice if you have a lot of plants and you need to hire something to be doing it if you don't have time to spray stuff down, because we certainly don't anymore.
Oh my God, that really is like, what is the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
When you give your response, delegating.
Yeah, so you're like, okay, I need to like hire outside help to come in and do something because I just don't have the time. So while you're sleeping and doing things, they're literally running around on the plants and trying to eat them. And no, we did not get ladybugs. The amount of people who commented on my videos that were like, why didn't you get ladybugs? Where are the ladybugs?
I have trauma from ladybugs. I would never purchase them for indoors. Like,
They just don't, like, I know that they work and whatever, but they just seem like the one that isn't the best at staying on your plants.
Yeah, the one that, well, okay, so this is my trauma. So and I know these are the Japanese beetles, not the ladybugs, but they're pretty much the same thing, you know. But they would always try to come into the house in the fall to like live in the house over winter, so they didn't like die in the cold or whatever happens to bugs in the winter. And so like you just find ladybugs everywhere crawling on you in the corners of the house, like just ugh.
Yeah. They don't bother me as much when they're in the house, and I think TikTok and just being around plants and nature more has gotten me a little bit more used to bugs and stuff. I'm not a big spider person or like a centipede person. I used to get a lot of box elders growing up at our house. Everywhere. Horrible.
I had never experienced them until I went to Eau Claire, and then I was like, what are all these bugs crawling around the dorm?
Yeah, or stink bugs. Those are not fun either. That's what we get up here. But ladybugs don't bother me so much. I just feel like I wouldn't want them all over my plants. Yeah. So let's talk about what bugs we did get. And which one did you do before? Like before we
I have done
order?
green lacewings before.
Just that?
And it was an entirely different experience from any of our experiences this time.
Yes. So let me look at my screenshots and tell everybody how we got these bugs, who hooked us up.
So Kara, Plantzilla MN, Minnesota.
Isn't it MN Plantzilla? Or was it? I don't know.
I think it's Plantzilla MN. I don't know. Right?
Let's see, Kara. It is Plantzilla MN.
Okay,
Good
that's
job.
what I thought.
Yeah, go follow her on the gram. She's now a one-woman show and is doing great.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I don't know how she does these backyards. She's like Snapchatted me like, here's the yard I just did. And I'm like, how did you do what? I couldn't, what?
She's a hard worker.
Way hard worker than us.
I don't do outside stuff. Like I might have to get her to help me with stuff because I can't. My house looks abandoned.
I enjoy yard work, but I'm not going to landscape.
Yeah, like I let you enjoy maintaining. You're like, I'm not gonna like do a whole like thing and rip stuff out. But anyways, we did a pretty big order and got a lot. Like she ordered so many, I couldn't believe how much we got.
There were 50 million bugs total. 50 million.
So we did get lacewing larvae, much different than yours. And you said that you didn't even see them around. So Brandon didn't really have the trauma of these lacewings that me and Sam had. We all four of us got bugs together. You know, what says friendship more than, you know, sharing bugs? You know, I love that for us. So we got lacewings. We got predatory mites that are called Phallacis. What's that one?
Yeah, Phallacis.
Okay.
I would say.
Or Phallacis, whatever. Phallacis. Which one were those? I did take a screenshot of like what these guys looked like. I think that was this guy. Yeah, those are for spider mites, and they looked like they came in like a sawdust type thing. Sprinkled them everywhere. Is that the one that you looked at close up?
Yes, that was
this one.
No, it was the one with the rice husks. Yeah, it was that.
And what did you see when you used your magnifying glass?
They look like fleas.
Ew.
Like, when you look at a flea in a magnifying glass.
Can't say I have.
Like a flea mixed with a tick, and they were like kind of orangey brown.
Yuck. That was, I couldn't see any of these things besides the lace wings when they got a little bit bigger, because when they arrived originally, they came in like this honeycomb packaging thing, like basically a piece of cardboard that has like holes in it, and then it has a big piece of tape on either side, and you just like pull back the tape and like distribute them everywhere.
Because when I got my lace wings, they were in a baggie with rice husk like that, and then you could see the eggs because they were like little green dots, and then you just like sprinkled them with a spoon.
Yeah, this was weird. It was very intimate. You have to like just pull it back and then tip it over and like tap them. I did post a reel that kind of showed them. I also posted a TikTok of like doing the whole thing like and explaining it a little bit more. But yeah, not a big fan. And then when we got them the second time around, which Brandon opted out of getting bugs again, but my thrips are pretty bad, so I got some more. And the second time when they just showed up, I just distributed them yesterday. Oh my God, they were already like alive and moving around. And these things, I'm not kidding you, they look like little alligators.
Because the lace wings that I had gotten previously, when the larva got full grown, they were maybe 2 to 3 millimeters long. They were tiny. You could see them, but just barely. And they were kind of cute because they were so small. And then, I mean, maybe they got bigger, but I never saw them past that point.
Me and Sam were finding them on the wall, on our outlets, on like outside of the cabinet, on the outsides of pots. Like they were everywhere. And they are so big. I could see them from 10 feet away.
You could literally take a Snapchat, and Snapchat cameras are not that good.
Not great.
And you could see it on the door frame 6 feet away in the background.
Can you see it behind me? I am using my front camera on Snapchat, horrible quality, and you could see it behind me. So big. I also posted like close-ups of them on Instagram and TikTok. Just nasty.
Horrifying.
And yeah, so when they came around the first time, they were just like, it looked like sprinkles of nothing.
Yeah, you could just see like tiny flecks flying through the air.
They were just going everywhere. And I'm like, okay, I guess these are going to be all over the floor. It was really hard with like my plants, like my capria, where the leaves are so big, they're just flat. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And I forgot you can like spray with water and then kind of like sprinkle it on and it sticks better with the water.
Yeah.
I forgot to do that.
Well, that seems like so much work.
Yeah, it's annoying. But yeah, the second time they came, they were already moving and they were already big. And the first time around, I pulled back the tape on both sides so they could really go everywhere and get everywhere. This time I pulled back one side.
That's what I did.
Basically chucked it in the grow tent and shut it.
I would peel, tap, peel, tap, peel, tap.
Yeah, and then you're just like, goodbye. Thank you. Thanks for your service. So besides those, then we also got the cute cumaris mites. I think just me and Sam got those.
I did steal a couple of yours. I was like, Nicole doesn't need 40 of these. She can have 35.
That was, those were the little packets, which I do have more of them. Like Kara bought me more, or I got more. So I do have a bunch in my fridge still if you want more. But yeah, they are basically like little cards with
a tiny pinhole that they crawl out of.
Yeah, which I actually like those the best. It just grossed me out the least putting those out. So I really like those. When we distributed these, we had to make sure that like it was kind of at night and the plants weren't going to be under a lot of light for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't either. I was going to look it up, but then I just never did.
Yeah, so I guess you have to do it and like.
And then you're supposed to like have them so they're like in a shadow.
Yeah, so I just tucked those underneath the leaves and whatnot, or like set them on the pot or next to it. And it seems to be working well. I mean, even though I have a lot of thrips, my spider mites are pretty much gone.
And I really think I just had spider mites, and that's why I think I didn't see any of the lace wings, is because I had so few pests. I think because I did a heavy treatment like a couple of weeks before. And I think that kind of wiped most of it out. And so then I think all my lacewings ate each other, and it was, may the strongest one survive. And then there was one left. He ate all the other million of them.
The strongest and the last one. So you have.
So I've got like a 3-inch.
You had like a giant like bug crawling around. I didn't notice. You do have like half the time when I'm here, I'll notice like a big ass spider on your wall or something. Like there's because you're close to the river, and there's just like always stuff crawling around
everywhere.
Mm-hmm. So pests are pretty much good for you right now, for the most part that you've noticed.
Yeah, I haven't noticed a single issue since.
Just plants being annoying on their own for their own reasons.
Mostly my own neglect, but
yeah, just our own problems. We also got just like soil mites, right?
Oh yeah,
actual soil mites, which we sprinkled in the soil. I mean, you know, self-explanatory.
Yeah, and then we got nematodes.
Mine are still in the fridge. Well, here's the thing.
Well, they're definitely dead.
Yeah, they're dead. I can let them go. But here's the thing. Everything was ready to go except that was in a jug, and everyone was like, okay, you just have to like distribute this over like 6 jugs of water. I don't have jugs. What am I
well,
like?
That's why I just did the one jug. I poured most of it out, filled up that jug, and then I just like went boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, boop. I was like, if there's one hurdle to jump over, I'm probably going to trip over it and not get done. You know, that's just sometimes what happens. So I did not have a gallon jug to distribute them, and it just didn't happen.
You know what I just realized? What if all my pings die because they don't have any more fungus gnats to eat? Because now that I think about it, when I was doing all the plant stuff yesterday, I didn't see a single fungus gnat.
I was watering your pings, and there was still gnats on them. Well, and some of them will go into succulent mode anyways, and they won't be catching fungus gnats anyways.
Oh.
And then when they wake up again, I'm sure it'll be gnat season. You know? Anywho, we also got the Persimilus mites, which was the other sawdust bag.
It was like a chunky, kind of rocky.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever that stuff is, really stuck to my plants.
They also, it says on the bag, I think it said they only eat spider mites as well. Kara was great and told us like everything.
She went above and beyond with those instructions.
Love it. And yeah, it's been kind of nice, but a little bit scary because I'm like not wanting to go into the plant room.
Well, I wouldn't. Well, at least like when you guys started showing me those videos of those, I was like, oh
you started crying, did you not?
Uh-huh. It freaked because like I saw them and I was like, they're cute when they were the ones I had. And they really were cute. And then they'd tumble and they'd like fall over and they were so clumsy. They were adorable. And then these ones are literally they're from Stranger Things. I don't even know.
Oh, yeah. The way that I saw them like scaling my Hoya like tendril, they're not clumsy. They can move and it's scary.
Because the ones that I got, they had the same amount of legs. They had the same little mouth, but they weren't like thick and chunky and black and white. And
pointy. They almost look like giant thrips. That's why I think some of the people who saw my video where I was like, goodbye thrips, they were like, oh no. And I'm like, no, these are the good guys. We're in the good place. But it's really nice to not be seeing spider mites all over the place. However, a lot of my anthuriums are still coming in with like spider mite damage. Like just that nice little like speckle, the spider mite special all over my anthurium leaves.
Where's some wood?
You're knocking on wood.
I have never had a pest on an anthurium.
Oh. Well, I did find thrips on that clarinarium like last year.
Did you find thrips or did you find
I found thrips
thrip
on
damage?
I found thrips on it, like crawling around. Remember your clarinarium I got you? I found it in the Millsbow and I was like, Brandon, I found thrips. And you were like, fuck. That was a long time ago.
I must have blacked it out.
Yeah. I was like, yeah. Brandon keeps saying, I've never had a bad infestation. I'm like, maybe you just keep dissociating about these pests because it's coming. Because here's what's scary. And I know you don't buy plants a lot, but I'm noticing a lot of new greenhouses popping up and new sellers, not really knowing about pests and pest control. And I think they're sending out thrips left and right because I have so many people that I know who have gotten thrips this year and just greenhouses in general that are like, they're so bad for me this year.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, I will say it does kind of shock me. Like some of these people who are starting plant selling businesses and then they like literally don't know anything about plants. And I'm like, in what world did you like, that would be me being like, you know what?
Let's go sell cars.
Well, I mean, I could probably do that, but like that'd be like, okay, well, because I helped you with this little medical thing, I think I'm going to be a doctor. And then I open up a practice the next day.
The gay confidence. Brandon's like, I could probably sell cars. Would people be buying cars from you though?
Oh yeah.
Would they?
I've like considered being selling cars. It's just I don't think I would like that working environment.
I've also considered being a vet tech, but I think I would kill myself.
Well, you have to go to school to be a vet tech. You don't have to sell cars.
I also wanted to like get into like neuroscience, like brain stuff, because I love brain. I have a tattoo of a brain. But I'm like, that is a bit too much. And that's also like is that something I'd want to show up and do every day? No.
Yeah, I don't know how people show up and do what they do every day.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that people do that I could not show up for consistently. Ew. Going back in, where did we order our bugs from? People are going to ask that.
I don't remember what it was called.
It wasn't like Evergreen. Let me go in. Kara told us. I should have screenshotted this. Actually, I think I did a pinned comment in my video. Why does Instagram suck?
Well, at least you never got the that little test Instagram they rolled out. Brenna did. It was gross. They tried to make your feed like TikTok where you swipe through pictures.
Ew. Tell everyone how Sam was distributing her pests, her bugs, her good bugs.
So I go to pick up the bugs from Sam, and so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna like sit here and watch you do the process so that I know what I'm doing. We also
had to split up a bag, so you had to wait for her then to like...
Yeah, so she had to like fully finish everything she did, so I was like sitting there watching her. And she's just, having a gay old time. She's just, well, I will say she was like a little high off the weed and was in a very good mood. And she just was like, okay, here we go. And mind you, Sam had... longer fake nails at the time, and she's just scooping them up.
Yep, she's
like the crane machine.
Yeah, because Kara gave us these in plastic bags with like instructions on them. So Sam opened up the plastic bag and just grabbed them.
Put her little paws in there, little grubbies, and then just sprinkled them like she was sprinkling frost or sprinkles on a cake, just like. And I'm sitting there in horror
because you know that there are now like thousands. Or maybe even millions of little mites on her hand.
Uh-huh. I was like, what are you doing? She's like, what? And I'm like, you're touching that with your hand? She's like, yeah. What's the problem?
Because she thought they were like asleep. She was like, I thought they were like eggs or they were like dormant or whatever. Which they could have been. Maybe they were sleeping, taking a little break. But she said then she saw them crawling on her phone and they were all over the place. And I'm like getting all the Snapchats of this, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm not ready for this. I can't do this."
Gotta do the spoon. But yeah, she did pretty much all of them. Just loose with her. Oh my god. Well, I guess no. The lace wings you have to tap. You could. Well, maybe she did like tap them into her hand.
Yeah. Well, because Kara didn't have to like split them all up. This time I got them in like the actual packaging.
Oh.
So it was like in a just container where I could just sprinkle them, so it wasn't like a baggie. So this time I literally was just like all over the room, and I'm like.
Because I was like taking a little spoon, like.
I also this time wore gloves because I knew that Sam was like, they're crawling all over the place. I'm like, I am not getting these on me because I wasn't in the mood to shower right after, but I did change my clothes immediately. I was like, ugh. I feel like my skin was literally crawling everywhere.
Gross.
Yeah, we should have done a icky warning at the beginning of this. I mean, we're talking about bugs. If you didn't want to hear about bugs, you probably should have stopped that at the beginning.
When you read the title.
Yeah. Maybe we'll put it in the description. We'll see. I did want to confirm it is evergreengrowersupply.com. Evergreengrowersupply.com is where Kara got them. Hooray.
I will say I guess I shouldn't have been truly shocked at the sticker price because we did get a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. And now that I think about it, I think when I got lace wings, they were like $50.
Yeah, because the second time around, I mean, Sam bought mine before because I was doing so much like picture stuff and social media stuff. That she was like, I'm just going to pay for Nicole stuff. But this time around, without the nematodes, it was like 175 or something. Dollaroonies. Yeah. It's expensive. It's like ladybugs are probably cheap. Maybe that's why people get those. But it's an investment. And I think if I wasn't someone who's growing plants for the purpose of like other people getting them, I probably wouldn't go that far. But I really don't want to pass on pests to people.
Well, the way Kara does it is she continuously reorders them until they literally are established, and then they will make they'll just keep making their own more. Just like
we'll just live there.
Mm-hmm. Like when I brought some of Kara's home when we traded, like they had them on there.
Damn. She was like, "Oh yeah, I have hired workers to to get these pests out of here."
You'll be taking home some of my servants, just so you know.
But yeah, I just did my second round yesterday. I didn't distribute any of the like cucumaris card things just because I was in a rush, and I'm like, I don't want to be in here.
They're supposed to last 6 to 8 weeks, so.
Oh, perfect. Yay. This was a short little episode, but I did want to plug that everyone go follow me on Pinterest, because apparently that's I wasn't going to tell you about this because I just feel like you're going to start stressing out and like trying to do other projects, but Pinterest is apparently the place to be because they're paying creators a little bit more than
I know. I've seen that.
So I've got a bunch of plant pictures on there, like some that I haven't posted and whatnot, and it's all organized, and you can post videos on there now too. So go follow me on Pinterest. It is the same as all my other things. Nicole Anderson Grows. Yay. How fun.
Yeah, I just have never been able to get into Pinterest. It is just not.
I don't get into it, but I just go and post on there. And I do like to see cute things. Like on my feed is pretty good and like tailored to what I like.
Well, also the last time I used Pinterest was 2010, so.
They know that I want a mushroom tattoo. So cute.
What it just reminds me of.
Ooh, look at that. Well, carnivorous plant. Look at that little guy. Oxalis.
Oh.
So yeah, it's just one. Like I like to see. There's a lot of like plants on here that I like, that I see that I don't normally see. But yeah, here's my little profile, Brandon. DDD, and then like I also have one in there for like plant room. So like pictures from the plant room.
Oh, that actually would be a good way to organize pictures, since Instagram you can't post pictures on Instagram anymore.
Well, you can. They just don't want you to. I'm still going to be posting pictures, because I just like to take pictures. That's my instinct. When like there's fun new growth, I just love to take a little picture. Take a little pic. A little memory. But yeah. Anything else to say, Brandon, before we wrap things up?
I will say, if you don't want to do beneficial bugs, but it's warm where you are and you have plants with plants with pests, just put them outside in full shade. The outdoor bugs, the natural ladybugs, will come and eat your pests.
That's what I've been trying to do with my pings, because I've actually gotten some thrips on my pings, and it's like, what do you do with that? I
thought they just like their enzymes dissolve them. I don't get how thrips can just like escape these enzymes.
I don't know. They move around. I don't know, but I've seen them. I haven't seen any adult ones, but I've seen like the babies, and clearly they're laying eggs and hatching on the thrip, you know? Clearly something's happening. Ugh. But I've tried to stick them outside, and it seemed to get rid of them, like the heat in general. But then when I brought it back inside, it went dormant, of course, but it's doing fine. Anywho. Where can people find you on the socials, Brandon?
You can find me at Brandon Botanical on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Did I tell you I need to start doing YouTube again? Because
yeah, you've been saying this in every episode.
Like it's shocking. It's still to this day I get like a follower a day, which on YouTube that's a lot. And I haven't posted in a year.
Coming up on a year, I'm sure. But yeah, and you also don't have to do everything.
Well, I do actually really enjoy YouTube. It is probably my favorite actual content to produce. Mm-hmm. Actually, I think the podcast is my favorite to produce, just because it's fun, and it's really not that hard. Where YouTube is fun because it's hard in ways that make my brain happy.
Yeah, it makes you feel accomplished when you get it up.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's a big production, and I'm not a big production person.
Yeah, I mean, I have about, 48 hours a month to dedicate to anything that I'm not forced to do.
Mm-hmm.
And a YouTube video takes like 8 hours, so that's a large chunk of time.
Indeed it is. It's too much. And Brandon's finally got plants on the website, so go shop. monsteraplant.co.
Hell yeah. We've got some good ones, and we've got even better ones coming up.
Mm-hmm. It's good stuff. Finally getting into it, and it's about to be cold again soon, and you can't even ship them, so...
Love that.
You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest at Nicole Larson Grows. That's pretty much it.
And you can find us at Where Are We Growing on Instagram.
Yeah, go follow us on the gram.
And www.wherearewegrowing.com. Leave a 5-star review if you want us to read it out loud. And I don't know where my phone is.
We're not going to do one.
So
We've
we're
been
not
dragging
gonna do
this
one.
out. It's been dragged out. Cece is asleep. We have put her asleep.
She has not been a little,
She hasn't moved this entire podcast. But can we get the music coming in?
Oh, yeah. It's been a while. I forgot what button it was.
Oh, we're about to get a bing bong.
Bing bong.
There you
People
go.
love the
Just
bing
for
bong.
you.
Just for y'all. I know you love that, Steven, if you're listening. Do, 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 do. Well, you guys have a fabulous rest of your week and get some beneficial bugs. I hope you're not traumatized, though, like we are.
Bye.
Bye.